back, everybody, to the Warlord of SBAS plays Torment, tied to Numenera. Last time we talked to Kung Fu Guy, and then we talked to a girl with lady voices in her head. Then we met Rhin, and had to deal with a little conflict, basically convinced the guys that they were fired. So now let's continue with talking with Rhin. Alright. How long were you hiding in that building? She blinks a little, as if confused or surprised at your question. Then she looks around, shifting out nervously from foot to foot. This is my place. This is where I sleep. This is your home? She looks at the shattered wreckage. No, this is just where I was staying. I ran away from my home as long as my home is a long way from here. Where are you from? She looks out on the horizon and makes a vague gesture. Really far away, but I'm not sure exactly which direction. She looks around a little, almost as if she was seeking familiar landmark. It has to be a long way from here. My home isn't anything like this. There were trees upon trees, and the trees aren't trees like. Young girl squints off in the distance. After a moment, her eyes go distant, and you realize she probably isn't going to finish her sentence. You were saying something about the trees? She looks at you oddly. What? No, I wasn't. Without seeming to realize she's not what she's doing, the girl brushes her hand through her hair, and you see the side of her head has been shaved. Large stitches around her scalp holding together an ugly cut along her head. Her hand. The wound is purple and angry looking, only just beginning to heal. It can't be more than a week old. What's the little girl doing all alone here? The girl looks up at you, her forehead creasing a little in irritation. My name is Rhin. But then she hesitates and looks down, blinking. She reaches into her pocket absentmindedly. Did I forget to tell him that? She stands there motionless for a second, then steps and looks up at you. Again, no, I think I did. She looks up at you. I'm sorry, she says. My name is Rhin. My food and my fire are yours to use before you go. What happened to your head? Her body goes tense for a moment, and her eyes dart around as if deciding whether or not to run away. She glances at the rubble where she had hidden from the thugs. She realized that, though, her eyes are still weary. I was running away. There were some people. Bad people. I ran away and got hurt. The scar looks pretty bad. Are you okay? She makes just a dismissive gesture toward her temple. It's fine. It looks a lot worse than it is, and a lot better than yours anyway. She smirks, touching the side of her head. The haircut is pretty awful, though, isn't it? I don't think they're really needed to shave quite that much, do you? I don't know. I think it looks dashing, fashionable. You even might start a trend. She gives a wide grin. I'll be the envy of every homeless weave in this entire. She gestures grandly to the landscape, then hesitates. Burrow. Her grin fades and the word comes out of her mouth. Sorry, I meant burrow. Burrow. She pauses and then says, I know that's not the right word. I mean burrow. Her grin is entirely gone now, and her hands make fists as she looks down at the ground, concentrating. Her lips move, and at first you can't hear anything except for the hint of a whisper. Finally, her body relaxes. Yes, neighborhood. That's the word I was looking for. Neighborhood. She looks up at it and gives you a shaky smile. I offer her apologies. It's been a long day. What people are running away from? She opens her mouth, then closes it again. She nods and puts her hand back into her pocket absentmindedly. I don't really remember. I think they were stealers? No, that's... What's the word? Robbers? They wanted to rob me? Hmm. Who stitched your head back together after you got hurt? For just a moment, her eyes flashed with panic again, and they dart around like she's getting ready to run. Then she twisted the side of her head gingerly. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I got away, and I ran, and I ended up here. Hmm. Your story doesn't fit. Who fixed your wound and shaved your head? If you could hardly sit up, and how did you keep running? She scowls at you fiercely. I don't know. I was talking to a judge, she says angrily. I've told you, I can't remember. Not for days on either side of whatever happened. She looks away, mouth pressed into her firm line. I'm sorry, Rhin. I was just trying to help. It seems like you've had a rough couple of days. She gives a wavering smile. Oh, it's not all bad. I found some shimmering berries today, so that means I get to play. I wonder if this will poison me later. That's always exciting. I guess, yeah. Don't you know the trick to figure out? You rub it on yourself, wait 20 minutes. Touch it to your lips, wait 20 minutes. I believe lick it, wait 20 minutes. Chew it, but don't swallow for 20 minutes, and then swallow. If nothing bad happens, then you're good. It's not poisonous. Here's some health tips for you people in the wilderness. If you ever go out the side. I know I try to avoid it. Alright. Is there anything I can do to help? She shrugs nonchalantly. I don't know. I'm pretty good here. Unless you happen to have any spare food you aren't using, or water, or a blanket, or, a bed, or a house, or, anything at all. Rhin stares at you, talking with a playful smile on her face, but then her eyes swell up. Her voice stays cheerful, even as the tears are running down her cheeks. She wipes them away, embarrassed and angry, but her hands are shaking now. There is more tears, and words continue to pour out of her. I offer my apologies. It's just that I've been hungry for days. I don't know where I am. My head hurts and nothing makes sense. She laughs and hopelessly, with a tinge of trembling pain finally bleeding into her tone. Gods around me. I'm all broken in my head. The moon is wrong, and I'm so tired of being scared all the time. I give her a few shins. She blinks at the money in your hand, then looks at you and gives a smile. Awkward courtesy. Thanks, you Grace. Sir, truly. Now let's talk about something else. Sir? Can you come with us? So look at each of your companions in turn. I think I would feel safer here. Alright.
Making a note.
Alright, we can actually get her as a companion right now. And actually I like doing that because Tiber is interesting, but not as interesting as these two. And I'm kind of curious about her story. Him, I'm less curious, but I'll probably grab him later and figure out his story. There might be a way to check how much they like me, because they were in an update and that was supposed to be one of the things they updated. Yeah, I'll find it later off screen. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Tiber for now and get Rhin, because she has more things to tell us, but you can't only talk to her about it when she's on your team. That bit sweet part. Parting ways. Damn sorry to hear, but it's been a pleasure. If you have needed me, I'll be at the Cavanessery. Looking for a way off the vertical slump. So he's just gonna be in the other area when we grab him again. There's a lot of companions in this game, and the update added like this blob one, like I think the character's called. I have no idea how to get them, and we'll definitely get them when time comes. It's not serious. You should come with me. She looks at the tiny nook she was hiding in the back. Then back to you. Where are you going? Don't know, but it will be safer with me than you will here. Maybe she wraps her arms around herself. But what happened to those thugs? What if somebody else comes after me? Or after you? I'm not a fighter, I can't help you. It's dangerous whether you stay here alone or come with me. At least with me you can learn to take care of yourself. I guess so, she sets her jaw then and nods. Alright, I'll do it.
I'll remember that.
Alright, now we have her as our team. She's more of a thief, huh? She's actually pretty useless, except for thieving. She's terrible in a fight. I think she has the lowest HP of all of them. 20, 28, 30, yeah, 13. She's terrible in a fight. But she's not good at thieving. He's good at fights, and she's a magic user, so we got a rounded team. I'm a good magic user too. But we'll continue talking with Rhin.
What's going on?
What's your story? She rose forward and then clutches her elbow with one hand. You know, some of it, maybe, as much as I do. What do you want to know? Where are you from? Expression goes distant. It's a better place than this. It's safer and warm. And it's a long way from here. For a moment, it seems like she's lost in thought. So she just starts talking again. There are a lot of trees there. It's full of growing things, and a little village with a tall wall to keep bad things away. And I have parents there. She shakes her head a bit and turns back to focus on you. That's where I belong. That's my home. I have parents there. I'm not an orphan. Sounds like a lovely town. What is it called? She smiles and opens her mouth to answer. A panicked expression flashes across her face for a moment. Her eyes dart back and forth before she puts her hand to her injured head. It's Baroneth. She looks up at her tiny face. Grave. Yes, it's called Baroneth, my village, my home. That's where my parents are. If you are from us so far away, why do you speak the same language as everyone else here? She tips her head to the side thoughtfully. I don't know. I guess I could also wonder why you all speak my language. Yeah, that's a good point. How do you get here? She shakes her head and tears spring from her eyes. I can't remember. I remember running in a fire, but I wasn't the right color for fire. I don't know. Rhin looks around, eyes lost. Then I just remember being here, and nothing makes sense anymore. How long have you been away? She scratches her neck thoughtfully. Only a few weeks, I think. She touches the side of her head again lightly with her fingertips. It's hard to remember. When I get it hurt, I don't remember the time around then very well. You think your parents might be looking for you? She looks thunderstruck, as if the thought had never occurred to her before. Then she finally speaks. Her tone is flat, almost numb. It is clear that she's talking to herself as much as talking to you. They know I'm safe. They can't be here. They have to be safe at home. Rhin brings her hands to her mouth slowly, her eyes terrified and all they flat. Almost glazed, she turns away from you, speaking to something in her hands. Her voice too soft for you to hear. She continues like this for a long time, worrying and muttering. You realize she has forgotten you were even there.
I'm sorry about last time. I know we didn't finish our conversation. I offer apologies for my rudeness.
She claps her hand in front of her and bows slightly. Are you okay to talk a little more? She nods and gives you a tired smile. Yes, it's just been... I'm not used to talking to anyone except, Al. About these things. It's harder than I thought it would be. But yes, let's talk. She watches you patiently. Talk about you again. Alright, she says, her brows frown. What do you want to know? Who's Al? Flash of panic crosses her face. What? No one, she says too quickly. Then she sighs and pulls something from her pocket. It's a small dark stone with a hole in it. She's outside your arm's reach, but she still holds it close to her chest, protectively. This is Al. He keeps me safe. He knows everything of hiding. As she speaks, you realize something you hadn't noticed before. You aren't getting any thoughts from her. At all. It doesn't feel like you're being blocked, though, which perhaps is why you hadn't noticed until now. Either her thoughts are hidden somehow, or she just doesn't have any. You can read it on the surface. Why can't I read your mind? She takes 2 steps away from you. You can read minds? You're trying to read my mind? Not exactly. I hear people's surface thoughts sometimes, but not yours. It's like you don't have any. What? Why would you be doing that to me? It's not something I choose to do. You hear people's voices whether you want to or not. For me, their thoughts are the same. Eyebrows rise. Oh, I didn't realize it's still pretty invasive. I wish you didn't have to hear it. Sometimes I don't like it, but it also helps me understand people. She shakes her head. Well, it's not a good thing. You have to hear that. It's like eavesdropping, but it's worse than that because it's more private than a regular conversation. What happens in your head is just for you. It's a conversation that a person is having with just themselves, nothing more private than that. She hesitates, then continues in a soft voice. When a god is strong enough to see into someone's mind, it's a sign that the god might be too dangerous. It's a bad... She breaks off suddenly, then reaches into her pocket and pulls out the stone. She stares at it with a slightly vacant expression she gets sometimes, then speaks directly to the stone. I haven't been keeping it from you, Al. There's a lot of things I've never told you. It's something I've never... Another pause and her face goes increasingly concerned. Everyone knows Al. Sometimes a god goes bad. When that happens, she breaks off, head cocked slightly to one side, her face growing concerned. I've never seen anyone have an argument with their imaginary friend before. She puts a stone back into her pocket and blinks a little as if to clear her head. I don't think I don't know why you can't get into my head, but maybe kids' brains are different. Or maybe it's just my brain. Or maybe the sort of thing doesn't work on people where I'm from. I really don't know. Well, if I can't hear someone's thoughts, I'm glad it's a person I can trust anyway. She looks uncomfortable, but she nods in agreement. Those thugs you were hiding from, they seemed to know you were in the building, but they couldn't find you. Why? She grins and her sun's smile is like a sun coming out from a cloud. We're good at hiding, she says. Can I ask a few questions about your friend? She brings a stone up to her ear and cocks her head a bit. Then she looks up at you and gives you a slight anxious nod. Alright, he's fine with a few questions. A few. Can't help but notice he's, well, a rock. She puts Al back in her pocket. He's not a rock, he's a stone. Fine. You're talking to a stone then. She shakes her head. No, I'm talking to Al. He isn't a stone, he's a god. He lives inside the stone. Well, obviously. Because that's where gods live. So it's the stone is like his body, or is it like his house? She smiles. It's a little like both. It's easier for him to leave than a body, but harder to leave than a house. But either way, the stone isn't really him. It's a little like a cup too. Rhin looks up at you, hopefully. Does that make sense? I think I get it. It's like how a cup holds water. Water is shaped like a cup, but water isn't the same as the cup. Hey, Rhin likes me. Her face lights up in excitement. That's it exactly. The water might have even taste a little like the cup if the cup is made of tin. Or it might even taste a little like whatever is in the cup before. But you can pour it in somewhere else and it's still the same water. She hesitates, then adds almost the same water. Mostly the same. Has Al always been a stone? She nods. He's a very young god. Older gods have usually lived in many bodies. How old is Al? She grins proudly. Only a couple of weeks old. He is strong for a... She breaks off and looks down at her hand. You don't need to be embarrassed. It's okay. She looks up at you and grins again. And then she says in a stage whisper, he's embarrassed. What does it mean that he's a god? Rhin grimaces. That is a hard question. Where I come from, there are many gods. Gods of health and hearth and home. Gods of road and Rome. Where I came from, it's a poor family that has no gods of their own. She looks down at the stone in her hand, speaking softly. But here, there are no gods. It's like finding a place where people don't know what meat is, or air. How do you explain something like that? And I haven't seen a single god except Alan himself, and he is mine. He is my friend. Rhin trails off, looking down at the stone in her hand. Did you bring Al with you from home? She shakes her head, her eyes far away. No, She breaks off suddenly, hands tightening around her stone, and stares again. Well, yes, I suppose I did bring him with me. Found him near a stream. I've been carrying him around in my pocket for years. You said Al was a couple weeks old, but that you've had him for years. What is it? She opens her mouth and closes it again. She's quiet for a moment, then says, Al doesn't want me to talk about this anymore. I just want to make sure you're alright, Rhin. Her laugh has no humor in it. Of course I'm alright. Why wouldn't I be alright? I'm far from home. I have stitches where my hair should be. And everyone thinks I'm crazy, even that man who's scared of his own, what do you call it, levy. Even he thought I was crazy. She puts a hand on to her head and a wound and squeezes her eyes shut. I don't want to ask this, but I don't want to not ask it either. She opens her eyes and looks at you, instant and pleading. Do you think I'm wrong on the head? I think you're going through a really hard time, Rhin. Sometimes your mind plays tricks on us. So you do think something's wrong with me. I don't know. Maybe it'll help to remember more of your past. Like, what are your parents' names? Well, my father's name is. She trails off her brow frowning. My mother is. Her expression shifts from confusing to panic. No. She shakes her head vigorously. No. I know their names. I do. They're. But again, her mouth stammers silently. Al. She pulls off the stone and holds it to her face. Tears glistening off the stone black surface. Al. What can I remember? Why? What did I do? She saw her shoulders tremble, fighting the sobs that begin to wreck her body. What happened? What's wrong with me? She continues like that for a long time, no longer aware that you were even there. Oh. Mom.
I must offer apologies again for my rudeness. What would you like to talk about?
That sounds like a program thing. She says that a lot. I'm just saying. Little brainwashing. She watches you patiently. Okay, about you again. And again. I ain't gone through all that. Gone through all that. Yeah, alright, just making sure. What do you think of the people we're traveling with? What do you think about Callista? Glances toward Callistege. Sorry, I've heard her real name. I should get better at saying it. And her sisters. I don't know. I don't like the way they look at me like they want something. Come on now, child. What could my sisters possibly want from you? I don't know. Hair, blood, fingernails, a giant breath caught in a bottle. Callista rolls her eyes. Children have such imagination. You can't have that either. What do you think of Airtis? She smiles. He makes me laugh. I can't tell when he's being serious. Is he ever being serious? Probably not. I hope not, he says, looking shocked. Rhin giggles against the back of her hand. This question. Alright, cool. Finish that. And we'll end the episode here. I mean, we only talked to Rhin this whole time, but it's been almost 30 minutes, so. Until next time, remember, breaks the chaos, or you'll go mad. Bye!